This moment is really about being held accountable for your own words. Jamie Raskin doesn't come in with a new argument. He brings up what Kash Patel said before becoming FBI director.
Yields back. Gentleman from Maryland is recognized.
Thank you kindly, Mr. Chairman. Director Patel, before you joined the FBI, you railed against it for covering up Jeffrey Epstein's human trafficking ring. Let me refresh your memory with this clip.
It has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale? Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
So you finished that December 2023 interview with a challenge to the FBI and harsh words for Republicans in Congress for not getting the Epstein files out to the public. You can see this clip.
Boy pants, and let us know who the pedophiles are.
Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are, you said. You emphasized that the president and FBI director each had complete authority to release Epstein's client list. You said Epstein's black book is under the, quote, direct control of the director of the FBI. Look at this clip.
This is way off the topic, but who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book?
FBI.
But who? That is, I mean, there's...
Oh, that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
All right, so you were sworn in as director more than 200 days ago. Now the Black Book is under your direct control. So why haven't you released the names of Epstein's co-conspirators in the rape and sex trafficking of young women and girls?
The Rolodex, which is what everybody colloquially refers to as the Black Book, has been released.
Oh, no, you're talking about what the journalist got 5 years ago? No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what you were talking about there.
That's
the Black
exactly
Book under the direct control of the FBI director.
We have released more material than anyone else before. The Biden administration, Obama administration had the exact opportunities to release this material, and they never did. And if you are selling the men and women of the FBI, we're not going after child predators. Hang on, you said we're not going after child predators. 1,500 child predators arrested this year, 35% increase,
I'll reclaim my time.
4,700 child victims.
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to reclaim my time if you could instruct the witness. Why have you changed your position? There you were saying it's under the direct control of the FBI director and all of it should be released. Why have you changed your position?
Everything that has been lawfully permitted to be released has been released. And as I told you, the investigation was limited. And let me make something crystal clear. I never said Jeffrey Epstein didn't traffic other people, other women, and they're not other victims. This is the investigation we were given from 2006, 7, and 8, and the search warrants from 2006, 7, and 8. That's what we're working with.
Wait, have you released all of the stuff that the FBI has seized from Epstein's house? The computers, the emails, the file cabinets, the documents? What about the financial records? Have you released all of that?
Everything the court has allowed us to release.
Which court are you talking about?
3 separate federal courts have come in and said...
We're talking about the evidence you've got. It's got nothing to do with what those courts have.
Do you have any idea how the law works? Do you want me to break the law in a federal judge's order?
No, I want you to follow your own word, Director Patel. You said up there it was under the direct control of the FBI director. He had the Black Book.
Everything I have direct control over, we have gone to court. You haven't.
Complete your sentence. Everything you have direct control over, you said...
have gone to court, and everything we have direct control over.
Complete your sentence. You said everything.
Release. We're releasing.
He'd like to complete his answer.
You began the sentence. Everything you have direct control over, and then you stopped that sentence. You have released everything that you have direct control over.
And I have direct control over and can lawfully release. If you're not familiar with the court orders, that's not my fault.
Oh, I'm perfectly.
Look at them.
I'm perfectly familiar with them. But how did we prosecute Ghislaine Maxwell?
She was prosecuted with the investigatory material that was collected from 2001 and 2005. Because of the non-prosecution agreements and the court orders on the investigations and search warrants, we were not able to develop new information. And oh, by the way, Jeffrey Epstein was out for 12 years, and the Obama and Biden administration did nothing to look at his work, his pedophile network. If you want to blame me, that's fine. But now you're blaming the men and women who conducted this great search.
I'm not blaming anybody other than you. You're not keeping your word. You said that you would release all of the materials under your direct control.
Has anyone released more information on Epstein than I have? Has anyone?
Much more.
Did Comey, did Ray?
Much more. Excuse me. Much more has come out in the days since the American people in Congress have been demanding it, but it's coming out in dribs and drabs. Why don't you just release the entire file as you promised to do?
I literally just told you, there are multiple federal court orders. I'm not going to break the law to satisfy your curiosity. You didn't join us when we filed court to release the court orders. You could have. You have lawyers. You could have shown up. You didn't do that.
That's a tiny fraction of the material we're talking about.
That is not.
It is a tiny fraction.
How do you know that? Have you seen everything?
It's all misdirection.
How do you know that?
Time of the gentleman has expired. The gentleman...
Back then, Patel accused the FBI of hiding Epstein-related information and claimed the director had direct control to release it. That set a clear expectation. Now in charge, he's being asked a simple question. If you said you could release it then, why haven't you done it now? Including what people often call the Black Book. He spoke with certainty. even urgency, implying that the information was being withheld to protect powerful individuals. So now, Raskin's question is simple but sharp. You said you had the power to release this, so why hasn't it happened? Patel responds by shifting the ground to legal reality. He argues that materials have been released where possible, but that federal court orders and the limits of past investigations restrict what else can be made public. And that's an important piece for viewers to understand. In cases like this, evidence isn't just sitting in a file waiting to be released. It's often tied to sealed records, prior agreements, and protections for victims. Even the FBI director can't just unilaterally make everything public. But that explanation runs straight into the problem Raskin is highlighting. Back then, Patel didn't talk about limit. He talked about control. He framed it as if the only barrier was willingness. Now, he's emphasizing constraints. That gap between what was promised and what's being delivered is where the tension lives. As the exchange continues, it becomes more pointed. Raskin isn't just asking whether something has been released, he's asking whether Patel has been fully honest about what can be released. Patel sticks to a careful line, repeating that everything lawfully possible has been made public. That wording matters because it avoids confirming whether there's more information that exists but can't be disclosed. The frustration on Raskin's side is clear. From his perspective, this isn't just about legal nuance, it's about credibility. If you built public trust by claiming transparency, you can't later retreat into technical limitations without explaining that shift. Patel, on the other hand, pushes back by pointing to past administrations and earlier investigative limits, arguing that the scope of what exists today is shaped by decisions made years ago. That's an attempt to spread responsibility across the system rather than keep it centered on his leadership. By the end, both sides are talking past each other. Raskin is focused on the promise and what it represented to the public. Patel is focused on the process and what the law allows him to do. Neither fully answers the other, and that's why the exchange feels unresolved. What this moment really shows is the gap between political messaging and institutional reality. It's easy to demand total transparency from the outside. It's much harder to deliver it from within a system bound by legal rules, court orders, and past decisions. But it also raises a fair question for viewers: if those limits always existed, should they have been acknowledged from the start? If you want more breakdowns that cut through the noise and actually help you understand what's happening in moments like this, follow along.